Hi guys, my name's Mr. Sneaks, welcome to the classroom, and today we are going to be looking at using our scav runs. This first video on using our scav runs is going to be focused entirely on the route that I take to make consistently good money on Lighthouse. As a casual player of Tarkov, I feel that using your scav runs effectively is a really valuable way of making up that time you can't necessarily put into the game by constantly running PMCs. If you lose a lot of gear, if you die a lot in combat, which I do frequently, they're a brilliant way of making money back, potentially finding some dead players and taking their stuff, because, you know, finders keepers, innit? Finding those things that RNGesus has decided that you're not allowed on your PMC runs. No, you're not allowed to find that gas analyzer, that last one that you need, because Therapist needs like 35 for some reason. I want to be clear, this isn't an in-depth loot guide. This is me showing the routes that I take on certain maps, because I'm planning on doing multiples of these videos, on how I make consistently good money off these maps. These aren't the best routes. You may find one that's better, but these are the ones that I find that make me consistent money, and over a period of time I plan on showing you 10 scav runs on Lighthouse on an average of how much money I've made over those runs. So let's get into pathing. We've spawned in a village, we're pushing over the bridge, we're going to go past the entrance to Sunken, and then we're going to turn right and follow this path. These crates can spawn loot items. Now the crashed van in the back of that, and all of those crates on the left hand side spawn items, but the crashed van, the crate in the back of the crashed van, will spawn high tier loot items, as you can see, a Bitcoin. After we've searched the van, we're going to head over the fallen tree and then up the hill. Now follow my pathing, as there are spicy rocks, aka landmines, on this path. If you do get an early spawn, please do be aware that there could still be PMCs up there. They do like, and I also like, to snipe up there to get a good angle on the rogues that are on the roofs of the buildings. Once we've climbed down the rocks, just on the right hand side of the entrance to Warehouse 3 is a stash that's always worth searching. And we found a P90. Nice. We're now making our way into Warehouse 3. Now there are no rogues in Warehouse 3, but there are rogues on the roof. The first crate that you walk into can spawn high tier loot items, stims like mules. Then we're going to run up to the right. There's a crate up here that can spawn basically the same thing. And all along this gantry can spawn tech items, hoses, pliers, etc. Pushing over to Warehouse 2. Now there are rogues in this building, but as you can see, I don't really mind you being in there if you haven't shot them or they haven't already aggroed at a member of your squad. On this pile here you can find tech items. I have found a graphics card. We're fucking leaving immediately. That's a graphics card. The weapons crate here. Again, all along this catwalk, loot items, and in this corner I have found graphics cards, but you can also get high tier loot items as well. And then all along these shelves you can spawn thermite, various tech items like the TP2000, high tier loot items in this crate. ES lamps are always worth picking up as well for barter trades who tries it, so they do sell quite well. Same with blue tape. Lighters can sell for a fair bit as well, and can be used for crafts. Again, this crate and on top of this box, it can spawn decent loot. I found moonshine on the left hand side here by these blue containers, and then the same items as on the other shelves you can find here. An ammunition spawn just by that burning barrel. And now we're going to head into the train yard. You get food items, but I've also found graphics cards on those chairs. And then there's a weapons box just up on this ramp here. Always worth searching weapons boxes for good guns, but you can also find various other items in there as well. Weapons parts, sometimes ammunition, etc, etc. Stashed behind the ramp. Clearly not worth it this time, but you know, we move. Potentially items can spawn in this crate. Haven't seen many. And then items spawn on most of the flat surfaces in this area. Get ammunition on that set of pallets there. And then on the right hand side here, you can get food spawns. Always worth it if you've got into a longer raid. Now by here on these pallets you can find propane. I found fuel conditioner there as well. And then just behind here there's another stash. Kind of difficult to see, but it's behind that tree that's on the left of the cart. Ammunition can spawn in there, and you've got some more high tier loot crates here as well. Again, helpfully, they're empty. Thank you, Nikita. And the same for this crate and for those pallets. Now, in most of these containers, and on top of most of the flat surfaces, like there with the hand drill, you can basically find any tech items in the game available around this platform area, which is why it's such a good place to loot, to get single slot, high tier items. When you're scav running, it's well worth picking up things that are going to be worth over 10k and taking single slot items if you can. Some high tier items available in these two crates here. And stims can be found on this side as well. Another high tier loot crate, and then up on those sleepers you can find more items. I found propane and what have you up there. There's 2 toolboxes in this warehouse, and then on all of the bottom shelves you can find items, and then you've got 2 toolboxes outside. All of these bottom shelves can spawn tech items. Now you've got a jacket here as well. The table on the right of the jacket, you can spawn Intel, SSDs and flash drives just next to those books. Wrenches are worth picking up for crafting and for selling sometimes, because they do sell for quite a bit of money on the weekends. You can pick up items here, ammunition spawn as well. All of these flat surfaces can spawn items like sewing kits, which are worth 28k to Therapist. They're well worth selling to her now. They're not as rare as spawn. You can get items spawned up there and in the back of that van. And now we're heading to extract. So let's see what we've made. After that one short scav run, we made 616,806 rubles and 42 euros. For a very, very short scav run. Now, a couple of things about running scavs. It is no risk. It can be very high reward. Some of the scav runs that I've done on Lighthouse to find the average amount that I'm making, I've managed to find very, very, very good loot. Sometimes I've died. Sometimes I found dead players and managed to gear up off of them, which has come in very handy. So I haven't included the ones where I found dead PMCs because I didn't think that that was fair. That's kind of luck of the draw. There are other parts of this map that you can look at. There's all down the beach. There are those broken crates. There are loads more stashes. There are the chalets. There's all along that main road. However, I find that this is the safest and the most consistent loot that I have found running scav runs on Lighthouse. As I said, the best thing to do is make sure you are making your price per slot really high. So anything kind of over 10k, well worth picking up. Weapons parts, if you've got a gun from your scav run that mechanic won't buy, strip it. Sell the busted bit to fence, sell the parts to mechanic. And another thing, it is well worth checking how much the item that you are selling is selling for from trader versus how much it sells on the flea market. There are an awful lot of items that will sell for less money on the flea than they will to your chosen trader. I always suggest checking Therapist first. She offers the most money for an awful lot of goods. If you need dollars, sell to Peacekeeper. Now, there are some days where the rogues are not very happy with you and they will aggro on you because player scavs have been shooting at them and they'll shoot you. However, there's no risk in a scav run. Another thing worth keeping in mind is stuff that you want to craft. If there are items that you need to craft, make sure you're trying to find those parts or you're not selling them and then craft them in the hideout. I will do a tutorial on crafting in the hideout. A brief one because there are very, very, very in-depth ones that I will link in that description. I will also try and find a decent and in-depth loot guide to Lighthouse as well. This isn't an in-depth guide. This is one run that I do that I find is very consistently good at making a decent amount of money. I'm now going to show you the average of what I made over 10 scav runs. Let's see how much money I made. After some pretty bad maths, I'm not a maths teacher, I made 3,689,142 rubles and 42 euros. That is an average of 368,914 rubles a run. I died twice in 10 runs. I hope you can see how consistently decent this scav run can be, and I hope you give it a go. If you do give it a go, let me know what you think. Let me know any other stuff that you find. I'd love to see it. Just as a reminder, I stream 3 days a week on Twitch. I stream Sundays, Tuesdays and Thursdays between 7 PM and 10 PM GMT. I am planning on doing some other bits and pieces here and there, the occasional Saturdays and Fridays and what have you. If you do like the video, come pop in chat, say hello. It'd be lovely to meet you. If you do enjoy the content, give us a subscribe, give us a like, you know, give us a comment, let us know how your loot runs go. And I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.